gentlemen, one of the most dangerous escalations in the war so far has already happened this morning. The South Pars natural gas field, part of the world's largest such field, and Iran's energy lifeline has been hit. Nearly 70% of Iran's gas production comes from this single field. Global oil prices rose and gas prices in Europe soared on the news of this attack, mainly over fears of Iranian retaliation on Gulf energy infrastructure. And sure enough, Iran's attacks followed. When you see visuals like that, the reality of war really hits home. The gas field that has been struck is shared by Iran and Qatar. While Iran uses it mostly for domestic purposes, Qatar, part of the field, fuels Asia. This is where the crisis hit right home. Around 85% of Qatari LNG flows into Asia, and in Asia, India is the second largest importer after China. 40 to 52% of our LNG comes from this one gas field in Qatar. Acknowledging the challenge, India is now proactively trying to diversify its sources of gas.
Now, with the latest attacks, our LNG supply is going to be impacted. We are in touch with all the stakeholders there to see how best we can secure our energy needs, and there can be unimpeded transit for our cargo.
LPG हम सभी जगह से हम खरीदने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं जहां उपलब्ध है, तो अगर उसमें रशिया उपलब्ध होगा तो वहां भी जाएंगे। लोग चाह रहे हैं कि हमारे विकल्प बहुत सारे हों।
In addition, over 12 lakh new PNG connections have been activated as the government pushes households and businesses to move from cylinders to piped gas. The centre is providing extra LPG allocation to states that conduct faster rollout of PNG pipelines. In the last 3 days, we have seen Shivalik, Nanda Devi and Jaglarki docking on Indian shores. And now, reports suggest at least 7 oil tankers that were headed to China have now changed course mid-voyage and are sailing to India. One of these vessels carrying Russian crude, Aqua Titan, is expected to dock in New Mangalore on the 21st of March. Let that sink in, viewers. Fuel from Russia meant for China is now headed for India.
टैंकर का नाम एक्वा टाइटन है और इसकी चार्टरिंग की है MRPL ने, मैंगलोर रिफाइनरी एंड पेट्रोकेमिकल्स लिमिटेड, MRPL, और ये न्यू मैंगलोर पोर्ट पे इसका अराइवल डेट एक्सपेक्टेड है 21st of March, and this tanker will be carrying Ural's crude oil.
Simultaneously, India has also sent the first shipment of medical supplies to Tehran, a gesture for which Iran has thanked the kind people of India. A gesture that might go a long way in extracting more concessions from the country that has choked the Straits of Hormuz. With reports now suggesting that US may ease sanctions even on Iranian oil struck at sea to boost global supplies and lower prices, one can imagine how crucial any leverage that India may have can prove to be. This deft diplomacy has impressed, well, some leaders in the Congress ranks as well. Listen in to Shashi Tharoor and Manish Tewari, both hailing India's statecraft, the same foreign policy that others in the Congress have been slamming left, right and centre.
Gas is going to be a problem, petrol is going to be a problem, all fuel is going to be a problem, because essentially our energy security has been compromised. Flawed foreign policy has created this problem.
Shashi Tharoor, a long-time diplomat, may understand the government's desire to take a cautious stand, but neither the Congress nor other leaders in the opposition have understood Tharoor's stand. Remember how Sonia Gandhi had called the government silence an abdication. Manish Tewari, a man who is interested and has spoken on several occasions, written books on foreign policy, well, also is in line with the government's decisions. But the Congress, is it convinced? The opposition, is it convinced? Listen.
देखिए सबके अलग अंदाज होते देखने का।
परेशानी कांग्रेस के अंदर है कि कांग्रेस खुद समझ नहीं पा रही है कि वो अपने लीडर को किस तरीके से समझाए।
Shashi Tharoor, he got some favor from Modi, maybe his own soft opinion, but common people thinks we have not taken correct stand.
Well, the BJP says that Modi diplomacy will continue to work in India's favor, no matter how loud is the outrage from the opposition.
It's clear that slowly and gradually every Congress leader realizes that Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhi Vadra family's stance on the West Asian conflict is not about taking India's national interest forward. It is about benefiting the fringe element and benefiting the adversary.
कांग्रेस लगातार झूठ फैला रही है, कहती है कि भारत ने ईरानियन शिप को सिंक करवा दिया इंडियन वाटर्स में, झूठ फैलाती है। परंतु थरूर जी और मनीष तिवारी दोनों कहते हैं कि इस क्राइसिस के समय पर जो भारत ने स्टैंड लिया है, जिस प्रकार से भारत ने अपने पोजीशन को रखा है, ये भारत के इंटरेस्ट को सेफगार्ड करता है।
So, ladies and gentlemen, the Motorola legitimate question we are asking on the Newshour tonight: are loud blockades opposition's only policy? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Siddharth Yadav, national spokesperson of the BJP, Suhail Seth, marketing guru, columnist, Karan Verma, author, political analyst. Also joining the debate, Somnath Bharti, former Minister of Law, Tourism and Culture, Government of Delhi, senior leader of the I.N.D.I.A Party. Faizan Khidwai, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, joining the debate. But my first question goes to Congress leader Sanjay Jha. And Sanjay Jha, well, Shashi Tharoor understands foreign policy and is qualified to speak on foreign policy a lot more than many others who have absolutely no laurels for stating India's foreign policy. He says we're doing the right thing. Sometimes staying silent is a bigger leverage than getting into a war that's not of your making. Manish Tewari echoes the same point. Sanjay Jha, has the Congress really lost the plot in its eagerness to somehow put Modi on the back foot?
Navika, good evening to you and to the panelists on the program. First and foremost, let me tell you, both Shashi and Manish are very good friends of mine. And I agree with you that if you add that intelligence and intellect together, just between the two of them, they know much more than the entire Narendra Modi government and the BJP put together. So I am in complete agreement with that.
Talk about the Congress right now. Yeah. Intelligence quotient of the Congress party.
Yeah. Because we have seen that Mr. Modi's government on foreign policy, particularly on West Asia, has been like a headless chicken. Ever since Mr. Modi landed in Tel Aviv and did that embarrassing performance in the parliament at Israel, and followed by a war where after that India has looked so clueless and desperate, it's almost a monumental embarrassment. It's not a surprise that everyone is asking the Congress leaders, what do you feel? And I think the Congress's viewpoint has been absolutely spot on. The Congress has actually correctly called out Mr. Modi for changing India's strategic autonomy altogether and aligning with Israel and America in an illegal war leading to a political assassination of the spiritual leader, which Mr. Modi refused to condole. And now, because of the fact that at the end of 12 days when we are running short of LPG cylinders, he calls up the Iranian president, President Masood. It's the height of the most embarrassing expose of the incompetent foreign policy of this government. I don't think it exists, Navika. Let me tell you what both Shashi and Manish have so far articulated. What they have said is that we have got ourselves into a situation where we now have to figure out a way to somehow navigate.
Sanjay Jha, day after day on my show, you've been saying this. I just want you of course, you have your freedom of speech and freedom to express your opinion. But I just want you to ponder a bit on the facts. Day 1 to day 20, things have been changing as they have been unfolding. I want you to look at the fact that India has managed to get 3 ships, 3 LPG-laden ships on Indian shores. They have diverted 7 ships meant for China from Russia onto Indian shores. They have managed to have a line to Iran. They are holding a line to Israel and the United States. Is this not a tightrope walk well managed? Because Shashi Tharoor says our interests are not served by indulging in the gratification of grandstanding unless we are confident that we can comfortably withstand the consequences. And today we cannot. Today we cannot. That's a fact.
Yeah, okay. Let me give you some 2 hard facts here. Number 1, the first is very important. Today, Pakistan is getting the Russian crude oil at a discount. India is now paying a premium for the same oil. Can you imagine? We have danced to the tune of America. As the Epstein file showed, we sang and danced to please Mr. Trump. And one man's blunder is what the entire country is paying for. Let me tell you, you think the Iranians have not forgotten that we as a government with such a strong relationship with Iran did not even have the decency to issue a condolence after the political assassination.
Well, Siddharth Yadav from no oil at all. Now, Sanjay Jha's problem is that you're buying oil at a higher price than Pakistan is. Now, that's where he's come down to. Please respond.
Well, India needs 180 crore cylinders. These 3 ships are going to make not even...
Congress party is not manufacturing these. My friend, the Congress party is not manufacturing these cylinders. They have to be got from the region where the government is trying its best. So just hold on, Sanjay Jha. I know you want all 180 crore cylinders, but jahan se aayenge, wahin se aayenge na. Rukiye, suniye. Siddharth.
Good evening, Navika ji. Good evening to all your viewers. Let me begin by saying this, that I welcome the statement of Shashi Tharoor and Manish Tewari. I appreciate that this is the kind of role that the opposition should play. But I don't want to get that excited yet. What they are saying is, I think, absolutely right. They are speaking from their conscience. They are speaking in nation's interest, but that is very, less to see in the Congress party. Now, what will happen to them in the near future, or how angry Rahul Gandhi would be, it's a matter for the Congress party to introspect. But 3 positions, 1 party, what is the stance? Congress party, Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi are writing articles and saying, oh, the moral stand has to be bigger and the moral attitude of the country has to be bigger. But here we have a former diplomat, a senior leader of the Congress party who's coming out and saying that sometimes national interest has to be above the moral stance of the country. But I think it is, we are fortunate as a country that the foreign policy of this country is not in the hands of the confused Congress. We are fortunate as a country that the foreign relations of our country are not dealt by leaders like Rahul Gandhi. Because if they may be dealing and if they may be leading our foreign policy, God knows what would have happened. But I was hearing Sanjay Jha and I cannot resist by saying this. He loves Pakistan so much and he's saying Pakistan तो सस्ते में खरीद रहा है, इंडिया महंगे में खरीद रहा है. पाकिस्तान क्या कर रहा है जाकर के देखिए संजय झा जी, जाइए पाकिस्तान आप. 50% of the public transport is shut down. 50% schools shut down. छुट्टियां कॉलेजेस की जल्दी हो चुकी है. 50% salaries of government employees are not being given. Oil prices have gone up like anything. They
haven't celebrated their Republic Day because they don't have any oil, nothing to celebrate, sir.
कुछ और है. You want to stand against India, that's your reality.
The most darpok, cowardice party of this
Navika ji,
in the entire world is the BJP.
Navika ji, इनके डरपोक पर कायरता भी बता देते हैं. ये भी इनको बहुत दिक्कत है. आज मैं सोच रहा था कि संजय को हो सकता है मैं जवाब ना दूं. The people who vote against Iran in IAEA in the pressure of United States in 2005-2009, the people who have no strategic petroleum reserve in 2013, who stopped buying Iranian oil under US pressure by 26.5%. वो डर की बात कर रहे हैं. 15 साल बाद 2016 में Prime Minister Modi was the first PM to go to Iran. Today we have the courage. We are speaking to the entire Middle East. We are the only country who are speaking to Israel. We are speaking to Iran. We are speaking with US. We are speaking to Bahrain. We are speaking to UAE. We are speaking to Oman.
No leverage. Countries. You're only making phone calls.
Engaging at all levels.
We have no leverage. We have no leverage, says Sanjay Jha. Let me get in Suhail said. Suhail said we have no leverage. 7 ships from Russia to China are diverted to India, but we have no leverage. 20 ships in the Straits of Hormuz where there is active negotiation on, but we have no leverage. 3 ships have landed on Indian shores. We have no leverage. Really? We have no leverage? Should we believe Sanjay Jha? What about the Congress party? When they had a relationship going with the Soviet Union in 1956, did they call out war crimes in Hungary or Czechoslovakia in 1968 or Afghanistan in 1979? Why? They chose silence. They chose non-alignment, and for a reason, which is national interest. Today they are finding fault with the Modi Sarkar. Is it really informed foreign policy to do that?
See, there's an old advertising line which Sanjay would obviously know because he had a part career in advertising, if I remember right. When you make a great beer, you don't make a great fuss. Statecraft is not about making a general announcement saying we are doing this, we are doing this. Diplomacy is the art of silent persuasion. It is not about rabble-rousing. It's not about shouting from the rooftops. Even Sanjay will agree. Most countries, Sanjay, in this predicament would not have the leverage with Iran. The reason we have it is because Modi has followed a diplomatic process that is unique. You know, you may disagree with Modi's politics, you may hate the man, you may dislike the BJP. Sometimes grace demands that you give credit where it's due. A, B, he is doing this not because he needs a gas cylinder. He is doing it because Indians need a gas cylinder. He's doing it for our country. Sometimes be graceful. You know, Sanjay, there's a reason why you and a person like you is suspended from the Congress. The Congress doesn't recognize good people. The Congress doesn't recognize honest people. If the Congress had, you would not be a suspended member. You would be a full-fledged member because I haven't seen anyone defend the indefensible so well as you have. But this is a time for grace. This is a time for India coming together. Sanjay, you know this. I hate all political parties uniformly. But there are times when the country takes greater priority. Now, all these panelists here are reasonably erudite and educated. You know, when Brutus was asked by Mark Antony and Julius Caesar, why did you stab Caesar? He said, it's not that I loved Caesar less, but I loved Rome more. This is the time for you to love India more. And you may love Modi less, you may love person X less. Have you seen Akhilesh Yadav? Faizan is here, sorry, on the program. Has Akhilesh Yadav ever passed an irresponsible comment? No. His heart beats for India. And at times, politics must be subservient to national cause. Politics must be subservient to national benefit, and politics must be subservient to Indians. Ultimately, we are all Indians first. Our politics may be of any hue and color. So Navika's point, whether it's Shashi Tharoor or Manish Tewari, Shashi Tharoor has said it because he's Indian first, Congress later. Manish, Indian first, Congress later. If you have an argument, beat him on facts. You can't tar everyone with the same brush saying, oh, Modi is bad, therefore everything is bad. I'm delighted that Narendra Modi leads the country, because only when you lead countries well, or when you're a great leader, you also tend to polarize. because there are enough naysayers in our country.
Absolutely,
My
and they
advice to
have
you,
been.
Sanjay,
And
my
they
advice
have
to you,
been.
Sanjay, is for this time at least, be what you always were. Be gracious. Be gracious. You know, Somnath is on the program. Somnath understands. All of us attacked Aam Aadmi Party. We have never attacked Somnath. We have never attacked Kejriwal personally. I certainly haven't. Why? Because sometimes the nation is more important than a Somnath or a Faizan or a Siddharth or a Sanjay, and even perhaps a Navika.
Somnath Bharti ji, I want to ask you. At this moment, we can quibble about the fact that could India have condoled the death of Khomeini 3 days earlier, or why did they do it 3 days later? That you can quibble about. But for the rest, should India be going out, beating its chest and making pronouncement at a time when India could possibly have to depend even on the United States for oil reserves, or maybe Canada for oil shipments coming into India? The fact is that we are caught between a rock and a hard place. There is no easy solution. There is a war going there. The war is in the region that supplies us oil, and we are 88% dependent on imports of oil. For now, we have to keep everything, every opinion close to our chest and have a communication line open with both sides. What's wrong with that policy of Narendra Modi? And haven't you seen the results? 3 ships have come, 7 could be on their way. We are trying to navigate a difficult situation. Why is the opposition oblivious to this?
We are in this mess because of Mr. Modi. That's the problem.
He created the war, Sanjay. You go on saying this, but did Modi create the war? Somnath Bharti ji, Sanjay Jha ko samjha dijiye. Unhe nahi samajh aa raha.
He aligned with US and Israel. That's a problem.
Let me create certain facts.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Should I go ahead?
Congress आपको इजाजत दे रही है.
What Shwelji was saying, that about Caesar and the Rome, and possibly I can ask Siddharth today, that today when, let's say, if at all, because we all are unaware of the fact, actually unaware of the fact, but then we seeing the circumstances in which Mr. Modi is behaving, that if at all Trump possesses some secrets of Mr. Modi, and because of that, if Mr. Modi is under some sort of pressure from Trump, then should he be not resigning and allowing somebody else from BJP to lead the party and to lead the country that way? So we can apply it there also. Let me give a certain fact, Navika ji. You said 3 ships we got, this Jung Ladaki did not even pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz, not at all. So we have this habit of appreciating Mr. Modi for, even though he has been committing wrongs left, right and center. See, the Shivalik and Nanda Devi could only fulfill the need of India for 1 day. So what are we trying to appreciate and trying to celebrate? This country, let me tell you, Navika ji, possibly in the days to come, we'll be in a situation no less than Corona days.
My goodness.
It's going to be very, very difficult. You and I may not be suffering today, but the staff or our offices and houses, they're all suffering in a big manner. They're not getting cylinders in Delhi. It's costing 5,000 rupees.
Somnath, did we invite this war?
3 kg cylinder gas.
No, Somnath, you're a bright human being. You're a lawyer. You're a formidable lawyer.
I respect
Do you really think we created the war? Did we create the war?
I respect
Answer is no. Is it our war?
I'm not saying that. See,
the war has been thrust upon this entire world. What should we do? Curl up and die? Somnath, just answer my question from a logical perspective. You're a bright chap. You tell me, is this our war? You're saying, we'll be worse than Corona. Only many people in our country wish the worst upon our countrymen and women. My advice to you, Somnath, is forget politics. Look at Somnath Bharti as an Indian.
We are all worried, Trailji.
Of course we are worried. Is it our war?
Okay,
my friend.
Suhail said, allow Somnath Bharti ji to complete his point. I'm coming to you.
What I'm saying...
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Should I complete? Are you permitted
yes,
to complete?
yes, Somnath Bharti ji, go ahead.
All right. See, Navika ji, even what Swell ji is saying, I agreeing with him. See, today, the GCC, the Gulf Countries Council, whom they have invited, are you aware? As a guest country, Pakistan, not India. So what foreign policy we have built? Where are we winning? See, just 2 days ago, the war, I mean, no head of any country went to Israel after they entangled with Gaza war. But we went. Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi went. And he gave a feeling, a perception that possibly India is siding with Israel and US and not with Iran. And that is why today China is not lacking in gas. China's ships are being permitted by Iran, but not yours. Today Iran is thanking whom?
Navika, you
Well, we have given the facts on this on various occasions, but the question remains. Siddharth Yadav, please respond.
A compromised prime minister has compromised the country.
Navika ji, I don't know, what to say. I don't know what to say, and what is this kind of mindset of the opposition. Let me just, categorically expose Somnath Bharti ji. There's this Jamaat in this country who for, 2 months back, who did not know how to pronounce Hormuz, who used to call it Hormuz, Harams, Hormuz, now have suddenly become all experts. When the ships were coming in from there, they were saying India will not get a ship. India cannot get a ship cleared. Iran will not allow you. Now when the ships are allowed, they are saying, oh no, it is just for 1 day. Why should we celebrate? Only 2 ships are there. No more ships. Now more ships are coming in. They are saying, no, you've taken so many days. This is the Jamaat in this country, Navika ji, who wants to sit like this. And then they want to ask you, what is India doing? Arey, open your eyes. Open your eyes. सोए हुए को तो जगाया जा सकता है, पर जो सोने की एक्टिंग कर रहा हो उसको कैसे जगाएंगे? आज today India is better off than the entire world. When entire world is like a war economy, we are a growth economy. The entire world, consider even the Europe, the EU is growing at 1%. Germany is is at stagnation. UK is at stagnation, and we are growing at 6-7%. पूरी दुनिया के अंदर वॉर का इम्पैक्ट इतना ज्यादा है, आपको समझ नहीं आएगा. और संजय आपको एक्सपोज करने लगो, सोमनाथ भारती को एक्सपोज करने लगो, तो आप लोग को दर्द भी हो जाता है. You have sided against India, and then you sit on national
GDP is fake. The ships that are coming are fake. Everything in this country is fake. What is real and what is true is only the Congress party and the opposition. Well, I don't know what kind of stand this is.
Article is out there in the middle for the world to read.
Yes, Sanjay Jha, there is a lot of stuff in articles, including Shashi Tharoor's article. वो भी पढ़ लो, बाकी पढ़ रहे हो ये भी पढ़ लो. You will not lose anything by reading what Shashi Tharoor has written.
Intelligent people. The Congress hates intelligent people. Even Sanjay knows that. If the Congress loved intelligent people, Sanjay Jha would be back in the Congress. The Congress is led by an intellectually innocent giant. That's the problem.
Well,
a guy like Sanjay or people in the Congress, Shashi Tharoor has been in the United Nations for God's sake.
Sanjay Jha was the most intelligent person because he was sacked first.
Well,
see, I don't want to be sarcastic. I'm not into that realm. I have always said that Sanjay has his heart in the right place, but he has to defend the indefensible.
Yeah, and I think he does a great job of it, every night to come out and valiantly fight on issues where he knows he's pushing the facts really into dangerous territory. But Faizan Kidwai, is it a tough situation for India? Of course it is. Is it the 20th day of the war, not of our making? Absolutely it is. Should US have gone into this war? Most people in the world believe certainly not. And today, President Trump has even demonstrated that he and his communication with Israel may leave a lot to be desired. Having said that, the cost of war is being paid by the entire world. Whether it is Japan, whether it is Australia, whether it is UK, whether it is Finland, France, everybody is feeling the heat. So is India. But I don't see anybody in any of these countries coming out with a position that is against their own country, which the opposition in India seems to be reveling in. The fact is, it is a tough situation. The fact also is we are negotiating this territory very deftly, and it doesn't serve our purpose to take any stand which is one way or another, because we are negotiating this tough terrain. फैजान किदवाई, इसमें मुश्किल क्या है समझना कि हमारे लिए challenges हैं?
Okay, Navika, good evening to you and to the fellow panelists. Navika, mushkil ka, let me start with what Siddharth said. Siddharth was asking a very good question. I don't understand, what should I say? Start with saying sorry. Say sorry first to the people of India, because you have been constantly fooling them. You have been keeping them in dark. It was all about this PR stunt of Mr. Narendra Modi of Vishwaguru. But finally, the Modi government and its disaster of foreign diplomacy and lack of preparedness has been exposed right now. See, Navika, let me bring this data to your knowledge. And please kindly don't interject. Give me time, Navika. This data is from Petroleum Planning and Analysis, which works under the Ministry of Petroleum, Government of India. It says that in 2014, India imported 77.6% crude oil. Today, a staggering 88.6%. Crude oil production within India was 37.8 metric million tons. Today, just 28 metric million tons, which is an abysmal drop of roughly around 26%. So, Navika, if there such issues happen, who's to be blamed? It's the present government. We have to ask the government that why did you mess up? And if the government says that we cannot ask them questions, then we just want to tell them that you are nobody. We are the voice of the people of India. Opposition is the voice of India. And we are going to ask you these questions and you have to respond. Now, Navika, further. See, first Trump tells Narendra Modi to stop buying Iranian oil. He says, okay, sir, as you say. Then he says, stop buying the heavily discounted Russian oil. He again says, okay, sir. I have another data for you, Navika. This is very interesting for you and for your viewers. Before 2019, Iran supplied us roughly around 24 million tons of oil annually, which was around 10 to 12% of total crude oil we used to get. And you know, Navika, what was the beauty of this particular deal? That this dealing used to happen in Indian rupees. There was zero forex outflow, and the UCO Bank, which was facilitating all this, even that benefit, around 60,000 crore of Iranian funds was in UCO Bank. Iran also used to buy a lot of stuff in Indian rupees from us, from basmati rice, from tea, pharmaceutical machinery, which gave a massive boost to Indian farmers and MSMEs. And further, it gave us discount amounting to even 12%. At times, there were free transport and insurance deals also. So it was a win-win situation for all of us. Now, Navika, what was the compulsion for Narendra Modi to agree to what Donald Trump said? Now, this point also, Navika, the American point.
Let me just tell you, even as we speak, Japan's Prime Minister and Trump are having a meeting, and you know what Japan's Prime Minister has said? He said that he's come out and said global economy is, she said, the global economy is about to experience a huge hit because of Iran. That is Sane Takaichi, the Prime Minister of Japan as well. Everybody is feeling the heat. Why are you missing the wood for the trees? And Karan Verma, I want to ask you, all of this, you know, Iran se kyun band kar diya, Russia, we've proven to them that from December to February, we've been buying 1 million barrels per day from Russia. But why does the opposition just not seem to be interested in any fact? All they're interested in crucifying Narendra Modi.
So, Navika ji, the last 5 years have been very interesting, and I'll start with my friend Sanjay Jha. I think Sanjay Jha admits that Manish Tewari and Shashi Tharoor are two stalwarts when it comes to foreign policy. They know their job. You know what Manish Tewari said in 2022? He said, I wish India had voted for Ukraine when India abstained from voting against the Russian invasion of Ukraine. 1 year later, Manish Tewari has that grace. He admitted that India was right. And who else admitted? Rahul Gandhi also admitted on 8th February 2023. Shashi Tharoor is on record saying, I'm still wiping the egg off my face because Narendra Modi got it right, I didn't get it right, where we maintained relations with both Russia and Ukraine. I remember that time, Navika ji, in 2021, when Ashraf Ghani's government got out and Taliban was in. And Faizan ji, you can go back in time and say, Akhilesh Yadav took a dig at the Prime Minister and said, ab kya karenge? Ab to chali gayi inki sarkar, inke to Taliban se relations hi nahi hai. Look what happened. Look at the turnaround that happened. Today, India has excellent relations with Taliban. Today, Shashi Tharoor and Manish Tewari both admit that we navigated through the situation of Russia and Ukraine. They in fact went abroad and put India's stand on Operation Sindoor also quite successfully. That is the thing, Navika ji. Modi ji has got it right under perilous times in the last 5 years, and he's got it right here also. If the biggest plant of Qatar on 2nd March got hit by an Iranian drone, that's nothing to do with Narendra Modi ji. If today the biggest gas field in Iran has been hit by an Israeli drone, there's nothing he can do. Did he not prepare for it? He did. And when Faizan ji says our production didn't go up, he's right. Read the 1974 report and the 2013 Standing Committee report, which admits we didn't have the open acreage licensing policy that came in 2017. We didn't have the hydrocarbon exploration licensing policy, which came in 2018. So you need to understand it with nuance. Shashi Tharoor gets it, Manish Tewari gets it, our friend Sanjay Jha perhaps doesn't get it.
Well, Sanjay Jha, you want to respond to that? Your name's taken.
No, that's fine. Navika, just the critical point that we are ignoring, that today Iran is actually supported the ships through the Strait of Hormuz from Russia, from China, from Bangladesh. India, they are doing a quid pro quo. They are trying to get a deal out of you. But once upon a time, India would have been, without even a protest, would have been a natural beneficiary of the relationship. When Mr. Modi went to Israel and took the blatant stance
and may I ask you, Sanjay Jha, and may I ask you, the transfer of technology from Israel and United States in our defense and fintech, you think it was better for India to sacrifice that? It's not an either-or situation, Sanjay Jha. Siddharth Yadav, why don't they get it? Well, it is not an either-or situation. You want this also and you want that also, so you have to manage a balanced relationship. Siddharth Yadav, why can't the government convince the opposition, number one, and number two, could we have been more proactive in condoling the killing of Khamenei? Those are the two questions the government will need to answer.
And where are your strategic LPG reserves, Navika? There is nothing there.
Navika ji, even the
they are in the resort. They are in the resort and home of Samajwadi Party leaders.
Rahul Gandhi. That's number one. Number two, Navika ji, you know, all of us know and all of us would agree that the war that is happening in the world, around the world, in the Middle East, this is not our war. We have not created this war. But just for the sake of your viewers, because some data was given on your show today, I want to give one data, and this data will bust the entire propaganda of the opposition. What was India in 2013 and what is India in 2026? In 2013, had this situation come, India's strategic petroleum reserves was zero. Zero. I repeat, zero. Today, we have 74 days of a strategic petroleum reserve. So when the entire world today, 90 plus countries are the prices of fuel prices are going up, and India, there is no impact on the fuel prices. It is because of Narendra Modi.
Well,
it is because of the Bharatiya Janata Party government.
You know, fake news bolne se nahi chalega. Sanjay Jha, there is a cabinet press release which says cylinders capped at 6 per annum. That is a 2013 September press release issued in the UPA government. Go back, check it. But if there were no shortages, if everything was hunky-dory, there wasn't even a war at that time, then why should you not be questioned for the situation then?
Okay,
but
Navika,
then currently, well, I'm completely out of time. We did a snap poll. Tharoor Tiwari approve of Modi diplomacy. Will Congress agree? Yes, say 29%, no, say 61%. Nobody has faith that Congress will ever see the light of day in reasoning. Can't say 10%. Well, that's what the poll has to say tonight. Thank you very much to all my panelists joining me on debate number 1.